Hi, my name is Lindy, and after almost a year, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that have followed me for 8, 9, 10 years, however long it's now been, you will have noticed there has been a distinct absence from my presence on camera. That has been for multiple reasons. Some I can mention, some I'd prefer not to go into. Suffice to say that I effectively passed away on November the 19th, which means I won't go into the details here. That's for another time, another place, and perhaps for the book that I'll finally write. Apparently I'm meant to write at 5, and perhaps for another video. But essentially, if you think of the soul as a flower, the fractal, the petal that was Lindy number 1 left the earth plane on November the 19th, and another petal of the same flower, another fractal, Lindy number 2, came in, or little Lindy and big Lindy. Anyway, suffice to say, here I am. So for some of you it seems like Lindy's back again, but actually this is a slightly different Lindy. So that's a big part of my absence. I was rushed into hospital for life-saving surgery in November, late November. And suffice to say, I'm okay now. During the build-up, during that year, I was really doing massive amount of work, to be honest. And in the end, let me say, Lindy number 1 gave her all, and gave too much, really, and it eventually led to her demise. So that sounds all very sad, but it isn't sad, because there is no death as we think of it, really. You just transfer, your consciousness changes and you go into a higher state of consciousness. So not only have I interacted with the other state of consciousness, that was the Lindy that you knew, but my friends have also witnessed that, and even independently of me. So there's so much I can say about this, but I didn't want to go too far down that route in this video. Anyway, there's been a lot of changes in that regard, and lots of things as someone that has walked a path for nearly 25 years now of helping raise people's consciousness and get them on that path to the heart and ascension. I, like many people on these public platforms, came in for a great amount of negative energy attention. Not the only one to have had to have gone through all of that, and so I won't go into details about that now. And probably not at all. Suffice to say, there was quite a lot going on, for me and a lot of others, actually. So the title of this video today, well, I was going to say the title, I was going to leap in, but actually before I leap in, I do hope you're all well. I have heard from some of you, many of you have been worried about where I've been, what's been happening, and like I say, that was the big one. But in the course of a path that I had to tread in regards to my own evolution, I had to pay attention to myself, so I had to come away from everybody else for a while, but also on that path, which is incredibly difficult, I had to go through a massive amount of transformation internally and externally, which I've had to deal with. But like I say, little bits at a time we'll come out with anyway. So the title of this video today, and is going to be called The Kundalini Queen, or the Kundalini Role in Ascension. The Kundalini Role in Ascension. So it used to seem to be in the early years of this YouTube channel, and in the I was going to say earlier years of my journey, but even when I came onto YouTube, I'd been on the journey for 15 years. So let's say earlier years of my journey. It used to be that people would have big sort of Kundalini symptoms when they had either deliberately, intentionally set out in some form of spiritual practice to do so, or it had inadvertently happened by accident, or it happened as part of a spiritual awakening in connection with somebody else when that connection seemed to have triggered or facilitated it. And certainly a huge part of my path seems to have been concerned with this, right from the first time it ever happened to me in 2010, with the original, shall we say, the so-called path to union back in 2010, to all these years later, sort of having the byproduct ability to help nudge many others onto that unification path, not just if they are with a partner, but if they are solo, their own inner path to unification. And often as part of that, this huge Kundalini energy is activated. And its benefits to awakening and this path are significant, because not only is a refinement or a change to one's consciousness, but it is purging, shall we say, burning off. I would like to use the word refining all one's previous sexual encounters and history. So it seems that with that rising of frequency of that Kundalini, that as a byproduct of that, other patterns, particularly sexual patterns, that sexual partners are sort of, it all comes up in the consciousness for purification. And this does link to a big piece of work I did last year on the divine masculine and sacred sexuality and stuff like that. I did a big piece of work, and I have noticed that YouTube has been trawling through my videos, and if you're finding that my videos are disappearing suddenly after all this time of not being up on YouTube, and you know, not being around very much lately, suddenly my channel seems to have drawn a lot of interest, and you know, YouTube have taken a unification video down that I did, and started trawling through my videos. I'm going to take this as a backhanded compliment, because obviously I was doing something right then. The fact that years later they're now being taken down. But anyway, again, like me, like many others, unfortunately, it's got to the stage where one is not really free to say what one would like to say. If I have to go onto some kind of other public speaking platform or forum which is more conducive to the work I do, then I'll let you know if that's the case. I don't want to be in a position where I have to make up words like a lot of people do on YouTube just so that you don't get your video binned, you know, make up long fancy words as code words for something. I mean, do we live in 2024, or do we live back in, I was going to say back in World War II? They were burning books, but I suppose that'll be flagged up now because I just said that. Anyway, I won't go down that controversial route. Suffice to say, when one's consciousness raises, part of a raising of consciousness and a path to unification is the triggering of Kundalini. I can't tell you in what order it happens, but if there are distortions in someone's energy field, then only, if you think of the energy field like a keyboard, if there are distortions in one's keyboard, only, let's say, the bottom notes play. so that their sexual triggers, they become entrenched in their own sexual below the waist triggers, history, round and round in that. And that can take some time. If their whole keyboard is active or is ready to be active, meaning their heart, which is the goal to everything, is to get these hearts open, the metaphysical hearts open, there lies the keys to the kingdom of heaven, so to speak. There lies the, like I say, the TARDIS, your time travel. There lies literally the heart of everything, the heart of the universe in your heart. If one is ready to have that opened, or it's already partly open, then the whole keyboard plays and the heart activates as well. And that's a very beautiful thing. That's a very beautiful thing for the people involved, because you can both feel each other's hearts. There's this communication that goes on, but the Kundalini is also part of it. So of course one gets, how can I put it, their senses get heightened, all their senses, including their sexual senses, because everything's being switched on full. The idea is not to go down the, I'm sure half these words are going to get my video stopped, but I can't think of ways to avoid it. What I'm about to say, I'm going to have to say, the idea is not to go down the porn star route with it and the porn industry route with it, but the idea is to allow one's sensual and sexual energy to become refined, to move up through the heart portal, so that it is immersed with love, compassion, a balanced, sensual, unified between left and right hemisphere, masculine and feminine, unified, heaven and earth, as above, so below, all unified in that 0 point neutral balanced state of consciousness. This is the idea. So that's in a balanced form. Unfortunately, most people's sensual and sexual energy is not balanced. And therefore, when it first kicks off, all hell breaks loose, because it takes a while for these energies to balance out. And again, their history, whatever that history is, whether it's a very troubled history there, or you know, they've been a victim of something there, or whether, you know, it's a few partners, no partners, multiple partners, everything and anything comes up with the ultimate goal for it to be healed, basically. And once these things are healed, like in this whole ascension process, you know, once it's healed, then the consciousness obviously raises. It can't raise when there's stuff within our field that's still not healed. We have to feel it to heal it. So this is just a little taster to say that I was going to say I'm alive and well, but well, I think I've just filled you in on that one. Yeah, so this I could say is about probably about my 400th film, really, because they're not all on YouTube now. But for me, this is my first film for this aspect of me as a same soul, another fractal of the same flower of the soul, walking. Something I'd never heard of. I had heard of walk-ins as souls that swapped. I heard of that. I heard that term, but I had never heard of it for the same soul aspect. And didn't expect to be somebody that would be experiencing that. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. There are many things I'm going to talk about, and this is just dipping my toe in the water for the first time in nearly a year, because I suddenly felt this impetus to talk about it, because it's been a big part of my life in this last year, that energy, and helping people through that energy, both in my personal and professional life. And also, I will announce that I'm also going to be talking about Ascension, a talk called Ascending Out the Matrix. I don't think that's filmed, so it won't be on camera, but that's something that I'm going to be doing in the next month or so. My first talk in public in 10 years. actually going out in public in 10 years, I mean, and doing it. I don't mean on YouTube. And I'm also going to be engaging in a podcast, an Australian podcast, which I won't give you the title of yet because I won't sing it yet. But I'll let you know as soon as that's out, and that probably will be posted on this channel. Anyway, I will be back very shortly. This is just to dip my toe in the water. This is quite late in the evening on a Monday evening, but suddenly I was in the zone and thought I would. So loads of love. Thank you for all of those of you that contacted me to give your support, love, things like that, and to say you were thinking of me and stuff like that. And I'm sending you loads of love, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.